Let's turn now to Kinney County, Texas Sheriff Brad Coe. He's a former border agent, and he has for 30 years prior. So thank you so much for being here. I just want to start with a question that I feel like this is obviously a concerning issue to so many Americans. Does this problem get worse when conditions at the border get worse? I know that was kind of insinuated in Allie's reporting. Do you believe that?
Well, good morning. First of all, there's a lot of factors that go into low morale, because right now they're going through a lot of low morale. The pay is not being cut, but people are getting frustrated with the border patrol. So maybe it's a way of looking back. Well, I'll poke my employer in the eye by letting this group go through. So that's the less I have to process because they're not letting me do the job I was hired to do.
How enticing is this? Are there different levels of how people can get involved with some of these deals? I mean, I would imagine that they're all not high-level deals, but you know, how do agents get lured into some of these ideas and the money I'm sure that's attached to it?
Well, there's a lot of factors that go into it because a lot of times, especially where I was, we worked by ourselves alone a lot. I mean, there were days that I'd be on one end of the county doing stuff and 3 or 4 other guys would be on the other end of the county. So there's really nobody overseeing you while you're in the field, unless you're teamed up working a trail of some sort. So the temptation's there, the boredom, et cetera, et cetera. And some of these guys do, they spend more than they make. So they have to look for alternative ways to supplement that income. But it usually starts at the ground level and works its way up to the upper management.
So once the cartel sort of gets their hooks into an agent, how hard is that to get out of that system? Because then now you can potentially blackmail this person. I mean, what's the way out once you've done something that maybe you regret?
Well, technically, there is no way out. Like the chief said, once they hire, you let some Chinese come through and they pay you $40,000, $50,000. After that, they have you. It's either going to be $500 a time each time, or even less. You truly never get out of it. If you resign your position, you're still owned by the cartel or whoever was paying you, whether it's a cartel or some other organization.
What can Americans do to help with this problem? Is there anything everyday Americans can do? And what is needed to root out these people who are actually making conditions there worse, who we're paying for?
Well, during my career, one of the things I saw the most was they would hire X number of people, and then they'd go 2 or 3 years with a reduced number in hirings, and all of a sudden things got short. We needed more people. They'd go out and do mass hirings. There was one point in the early 80s, so I should correct that, the mid 80s, where they hired 500 people in one shot. And it's kind of hard to weed through that many people to get a class of 500 to put them out in the field to make up for the shortcomings that they failed to address all along.
All right. Really interesting. Sheriff Coe, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.